The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, we go into the breach, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And we have a fairly significant, more than 3 standard deviation move out of the market once again today. And it just keeps on rolling. 26.30 on the S&P cash, down 40 points. And is that the end of the world? Well, probably not. We'll look at the IWM, which probably has the best pattern, and we'll show you where things start to get sticky. But so far, so good. And we'll talk about how volume was up on Friday. Other things of interest out here, of course, we've got a stock that's down because it's not being, or it's not going to find a buyer. But other things kind of up and down early this morning. Of course, it's just a general sell-off. Now, when we look at what volume looks like so far today, pretty much on track for Friday's volume. So we may have even a little bit more volume than we had on Friday. 4.4 billion shares as we start the show, to a little over 8 billion, I think, on Friday. So we're not getting a real sore thumb kind of signals out here, but we'll look and see what we can find. A little murky, but at least we have a better line, especially in the IWM. We'll take a look at that today. Other things of interest, just companies that make me go, We'll talk about that for a little while. Self-inflicted wounds. Maybe that's the best way to say that. A couple of companies just acting bizarrely. And I'm not talking about Musk. I'm talking, although he gets his share today. But a few things that are just bizarre. Anyway, we'll got plenty of time today. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. And you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. And we'll get and look at what you want to look at. Anything else? Let's do a little history, and then we'll get into some charts.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1946, Truman signs a document that will create the CIA. At this point in 1946, it's called the CIG. And basically, they put everybody that should know about intelligence or need intelligence all together in one big organization, and it quickly failed. It failed miserably. It failed in a matter of months. That led to the creation of a specialized department that wouldn't have so much infighting, called the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Anyway, it's this was the history of the CIA is kind of interesting, mostly because prior to World War II, there was a thought that it just wasn't genteel to be spying on one's neighbors. Of course, after the Hawaii attack, most people didn't believe that anymore. They then thought how really necessary it was to know. Most people do not know. I actually took a job interview with the CIA. Most people don't know that about 95% of what the CIA does is not run around and spy on other people. A lot of it's just fact-finding, how much wheat a country's producing, or how much iron does it have left, or Just a ton of stuff that actually goes into the to the data bank that the spies actually use. And one of the big points on, or a big surprises, I would call it surprise. I would call it good forethought, was how much lead that Cuba had in 1961 and 2, and how much lead that the Soviet Union had. And suddenly they had none. And you would think, okay, what's going on here with this? They have plenty of production, but they needed a ton all at once. And why was that? They were busy putting brand new batteries in all of their diesel submarines. They only had a handful of nuclear ones at the time. And so everybody started to, okay, what's going on here? And that led to them following the submarines to Cuba. And in the meantime, they started seeing these big transports going across the ocean with missiles on them that were going to be pointed at us. So you never know where one thing's going to lead to another, but a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what really goes on at the CIA. And I don't even remember what actually happened. I think that they told everybody that they had a hiring freeze for 2 years anyway, so I didn't bother going too much farther. But I thought that would have been a cool job. One of the things, I got a recommendation. My dad was in the Air Force, and pretty much in his entire career was working with the CIA and flying people around and monitoring radio signals and that kind of stuff. But kind of interesting thing. But one of the things that I think everybody, especially if you ever watch news at all, there's some great documents that come out of the CIA, and it's all about improving intelligence and how they actually go through and look, especially after trying to figure out what happened with all the weapons of mass destruction, which there is an answer to, by the way. Saddam actually got a hold of a copy of how the CIA does things, and passing false documents around is a double-edged sword. Anyway, the CIA has some great articles on their website about how you actually figure out what the truth is, and going through multiple sources, and who's lying and who's telling the truth as a guide for analysts at the CIA. I recommend it highly. One of the other things, though, is one of the things that they do that got turned up from almost the day that they were out there is a thing called eye washing. And that's where they put out lots of phony documents and figure out who's spreading the news that they should not be talking about. And it came out that about 500 people got misleading information. About 5 people actually knew what was true. And that's what Saddam did. Basically wrote a bunch of documents saying he had nuclear weapons. We got him. And didn't work out very well with him. But pretty interesting. It's called eye washing. That is the practice of lying to everybody in your own organization. Almost everybody. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And one of the things we've been talking about was that the IWM made a very nice confluence range. That's probably the point at which you get maximum resistance in a stock. You get it by putting together two different Fibonacci ratios. This one, or the IWM, did break through that on Friday. Now the thing you want to watch is for a close below that level. Let's zoom in here a little bit. That goes to 143.81. Am I reading that right? Yeah, 143.81. We got down to what was the low today? 144.27, and kind of pulling back up here. But generally, the biggest failures happen when these things do pierce on light volume and then come back in there and close back below that confluence range. You just get a little overshoot of a day or two. The downside to that theory is that we actually broke it and volume increased on Friday. You had 28.3 million shares in the IWM. Now today, 218, we've got 16 million shares. So could we get a lot of volume before the end of the day? Could, but I'm going to say the IWM is going to come in with lighter volume. You want to be watching that probably the last 10 minutes of the day to see what's going on. But 28.3 million shares to 15. I'm thinking that we're going to get about 22, maybe 23 million shares. So it would be a pullback on lighter volume, at least for the IWM. And that seems to be one of the things we're looking at. Let's go back to this. I had some emails already asking my opinion on Twitter, TWTR. Not much action here, but I would avoid this stock like I would avoid a cancer stock, a tobacco stock right before all the lawsuits. This one actually looks rather horrible. But the problem with Twitter is that it is kind of refusing to take down death threats to U.S. high school students. And it's rather bizarre. You can get into the politics of it, but I'm going to just get into the dollars and cents of this. One, you create an uproar and get somebody to take a pot shot at the CEO, or two, a high school guy, gets in the fray, gets hurt, or gets killed, and you go against the terms that you put up on your own website for what people can acceptably say. My guess is that if anything does happen to any of those kids, that literally Twitter would be worth nothing after the lawsuits. $20 billion, I can't even imagine what it would look like after that happened. So I don't, it's beyond me what these people believe now. But I've never been a fan of it. But this thing has a very weak bounce off this $26.26 low. And maybe nothing happens, and we hope that it doesn't. But you know what? When you're out there walking on eggs, don't hop. Another thing my dad told me. And I just don't understand the bizarre nature of Twitter leaving on death threats to high school kids. You can research and find out all about it yourself. But to me, none of this works out very well. The same kind of shooting yourself in the groin things. I think probably the most famous case of this was the Oldsmobile that literally wiped out Oldsmobile because they changed the ad to say, this isn't your father's Oldsmobile. Procter & Gamble down, not a lot of volume yet, but the throwback on their ads also doesn't make a lot of sense for a company like Procter & Gamble. I wasn't surprised that you had a couple of days of sideways because a lot of times when people step in it or big companies step in it, the thought on Wall Street is maybe, something else happens and this all blows over and goes away. But I don't see anything that says that Procter & Gamble doesn't go back and retest the 8674. I just kind of worry about the wisdom of what they did. Just, you're not going to make any friends. All you can do is make enemies. And again, from Twitter to Procter & Gamble, I don't understand this. Maybe there's an echo chamber that they're listening to where everybody reinforces bad ideas. But these are the poster child for really bad ideas the last couple of days. Other people that are stepping in it is Tesla. And what is this? Tesla down a little bit more today. Of course, it got hammered on Friday, especially with Ford. It kind of started down early. Then Ford got into the part where they actually said that they're going to make a Ford F-150 when another company actually showed a really good one at Consumer Electronics Show. Anyway, you're back down to this 294 level on December 26th. But they didn't help matters again over the weekend by saying they were going to double the prices on their chargers in places like New York, where it's very hard to get charging, and angered their customers after saying that they wouldn't raise prices. So they only raised them a little. And my guess is they'll come back in a couple of months and raise them again. But the prospect of them being cheaper than a gasoline car at 32 cents a kilowatt, which I think, what do we pay down here? 10 cents a kilowatt in Florida? Yeah, it's bizarre that they would charge that. Maybe electricity's that much in New York. I do not know. But down a little lighter volume, but certainly going to test this December 26th low. And the question is whether you're going to have more than 8 million shares, and you got 9.4 million shares already. Other questions out here that are already coming in is about these CRISPR stocks, Edit and CRISPR. These guys have various deals. This is extremely expensive work to do. And what happened is, or at least this is my summation, there are other things people are saying out here. I don't believe them. But they made some deals with some biopharma pharma companies. I think Edit was the big one. And why the people on Wall Street won't say that they know, my guess is that the people on Wall Street do know what that is. And there's always that dance where you make a deal with some big biopharma company because you need lots of cash, but you give a great deal away of your potential profits in the future to get that deal. And I think someone told me that they said that edit doesn't, or the technology doesn't work. Well, over the weekend, we did find out from China that, yes, that not only 2 children have been born with genetically edited CRISPR technology, but another one was born just 2 weeks ago. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks!
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as somebody in the den private messaged me, the CFO and the CEO are leaving. What happens, especially if you are in a company, Beck was go ahead and bring up a longer term on this so you can see. I think the question is, we made a lot of money on this in the Tech Insider. We bought this, I can't even remember now. Bought it and sold it a couple of times. I think it was either at the very end of 2017, start of 2018. We sold one for 75%, another one for a little over 100%. So they were some huge winners for us in the Tech Insider. And I love the technology, but at some point things just get too amazingly rich. And we sold them. We had a big win, and it was actually over 3 or 4 months or something, maybe 5 months. I can't remember. It was, anyway, we got a big hunk of this up to March 9th low. But biotechs, especially the companies that don't have products out there already, have generally a problem with getting products out. It's just the you need a fire hose of money coming in. Now, what happened a great deal for some of these companies is every quarter they got stock options, but they got stock options based on the price that were in this. And if you're a big CEO of a biotech like this, and you don't get to renegotiate the price that those stock options are at, then you know, you're basically not going to make a lot of money in the future. And that is, I suspect, part of the reasons that the CEO and CFO are leaving. And they'll be at March 1st, so they got a couple of months to go. But if you can't go to the board and get a renegotiation of those stock options, then whatever you did for the last year and a half, you may never ever get back into the money again. And especially in pre-product biotech companies that don't have things going out. This company does have a couple of things that are out in trials. It'll probably be another year, 2 years before they actually see any profits come in. I think that there's a long-term, wonderful amount of money to be made in these things. In the short term, they're going to be extremely volatile. What else do we have? Hopefully that answers it. But generally, when you see a stock that comes down after a rather major high, you basically end up with the CEOs looking at whatever their base pay is. And my guess is if you dig it out in these things, they generally have fairly low base pays. And the idea is that they make their money if the company goes up. They get to execute those stock options. My guess is that their stock options are that they got pretty much all the way through 2017 and 2018. Probably not going to be worth much. And again, if you can't convince the board to give you a bunch of new stock options at a cheaper price and let you cash out those ones that'll never hit anything, maybe it's time to move on, find another biotech that will give you stock options. So that's generally what happens out there. But any of these pre-product biotech companies, this is not a lot different. I think that there's also a little reticence in this part of it because of what the Chinese have done, which is already edit humans. So we know that there are 3. The Chinese government has confirmed it over the last few days that, yeah, the guy wasn't lying. Unclear whether they actually took the guy out and hung him that did it, but they were actually threatening that last week. I haven't heard anything about the guy that actually did it and then basically blurted it all out. But you never know. But, you know, you've got 1780 for Editas. Again, a company without a product and without long-term leadership, problematic. One of those companies that's been that way for a long time, that is threatening to come out with a CEO and a new CFO is Intel. Intel is down today. Not that bad. And actually, the energy on the way of this thing is up. But you never know when you're going to come in. They're actually going to say, hey, we got a new CEO for this company. And I continue to think that when they do, it's worth $3 over the next couple of days on that announcement. But even big companies have problems. And again, Intel stepped in it. I think that they'd probably be in the 60, 65 now if they hadn't gotten rid of their previous CEO for unknown reasons. Basically, they brought up something that they knew that he did 10 or 12 years ago. And I guess they had an argument, didn't like what he was doing, and decided to out him on this thing that happened 10 or 12 years ago. But what it's done is made nobody else want to take that job. So there's a variety of reasons you need to look into each stock. But I think whoever's going to take this job probably going to get some discussions, or not discussions, got to get some codicils in their employment contract that basically says that, anytime I do something you don't like or we don't agree on something, you don't try to ruin my life. But that's it. Maybe the board changes a lot. Things look good. Intel has a lot of good things going on in the hopper. The question is if any of those can get out. I do think Intel is very much like Microsoft right now, which is one good CEO could drive this stock to $100 in the next couple of years on some of the stuff that they have out there, but it's just tough. Again, this does not look as weak as a great deal of other stocks out there. The ones that look like they were in a lot of hang time were the SMHs. The retrace on them is, let's go back here and look a little bit more, was right to the confluence level. Let me clean this up a little bit more so we can see. Oh, need one more there. Again, this worked very well on the confluence levels. And I mean, you got right to it, which was I'll zoom in here so you can actually see it. Confluence level went from $93.64 to $92.20. You got to $93.32, so about 30 cents off the high from Friday, and there wasn't that much juice in it. It was some decent volume. I don't think this thing falls apart, but again, you came down on some fairly high energy. Support probably comes back in around $88 on the SMHs. You had a fairly decent day up on volume in a couple of those. And again, when we look at Friday, we went up on 8.3 million shares. Today so far, down on 4.6. So you want to look at those IWMs at the end of the day and the SMHs and see where volume's coming in. But if it's lighter today, then we're just looking maybe a retrace. 50% retrace on the SMHs off the bottom would be 87.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're checking the email here to see what else people have. They're talking about it. And see if there's anything. Boeing. Boeing got 150 orders for its new 777, which, and when you look at the specs of the thing, is going to be rather amazing. A lot of those are going to be flying between the UK and Australia, which is one of the biggest paying routes of all the world. And, well, it's going to be a 2-engine plane, and it's about 15% more fuel efficient than the planes it's going to replace. And, of course, when you're flying halfway around the world, that's a big deal. It's down a little bit out here. I think a few people kind of knew about the order coming in last week. I think maybe it came out on Friday and I wasn't paying attention. But you had a little spike, and you could look at this as a little reversal. But this is one of the few companies that actually had, at least for my power law vector indicator, stronger energy up off the December 26 low up to this high where you tested the December 3rd high that had 6.5 million shares. You only tested it on Friday with 4.25 million shares. Again, economic events. Maybe a lot of this stuff is priced in, but not as horrible as a lot of other ones out there. In fact, a lot of the semis and some of the other ones could look a lot worse. That's WKS. Haven't looked at this one for a while, so we'll do that. Again, a lot of these things have bounced off the bottom, and you got some fairly decent news coming at the end of February for these cell phone stocks. You're down a little bit in Skyworks Solutions. This thing's just consolidating sideways, which is not a bad-looking pattern out here. Maybe it gets worse, but on Friday you had 2.5 million shares. Today you got 900,000. So it's really not coming down on a great deal. That's probably the stronger of most of the stocks. What's the other one? Yeah, I'll think of it here in a second. Skyworks, Avago, AVGO. Yep. I'll go for a little shorter time frame here. You pretty much in Avago tested the previous high of December 14th with about the same volume as you did on January 15th. This is still kind of hanging up here. The energy was slightly less off this January 3rd low, but none of these things really look that bad for a semiconductor space that is fairly horrible. And of course, Avago is the poster child for companies that buy other companies to the point that they eventually blow up. I wouldn't say that it's incredibly strong, but certainly it's hanging up here at the highs. On Friday, you had 3.5 million shares. You got 2.1. So again, so far today, the volume really hasn't come in to make me think that everything in the world is going to hell in a handbasket. What else do we have? 4.84 billion shares. So I don't know if we're going to get anywhere close to the volume on Friday. Of course, that was options expiration. And of course, we've had a 3-day weekend. It takes a little bit of time to get things fired back up when people come back from vacation. Anyway, see what else do we have out here. SWK, they came out with news before the bell. Lower gap basis. I mean, these guys kind of fell off the cliff. They made $1.84 a year ago in this quarter, 45 cents in this quarter. Tell you how quickly the fortunes of a company, its products I love, but you have to divorce the company from, of course, the stock. And as much as I love cordless drills and 7.25 inch saws and routers, I got all the woodworking stuff. I love it. Anyway, the heavy down today tells you this is at least going to 110.54. My guess, though, is as bad as these earnings were, you could easily see it dip under 105.75, and I don't think it could take that long. This is one of the weakest earnings reports I've seen out in this environment. Let's see, what else do we have out here? We got about 3 minutes to go in this segment. Got a question to look at Facebook. Do I see anything different in that? Certainly looks stronger than some of the others, mostly because it's been pre-beat up. Volume was a little bit better on Friday than the December 12th high we saw back at 147. The energy just really wasn't there on December 24th all the way up to the high on Friday. Again, probably going to need more of a consolidation. You do have to like that volume on Friday, but at the same time, the energy just wasn't there. The first place that I would look at possibly buying it, and I still hate it, is 138 on Facebook. And if this downside continues at all, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing roll over. What else do we have? Okay, we're down 52 on the S&P cash. And again, volume pretty sedate for as bad as this pullback is. Questions about other companies. Someone wants to know about Micron. Micron does look like it's got a fairly decent setup out here for a consolidation. This may just be an ABC on the B2C leg, kind of a messy one back here, but about 31.5. A lot of people have been in this thing buying. You didn't have a lot of volume until it got to that. You ran some shorts. This is a little bit of a reversal, but again, 45 million shares Friday, 26 million shares so far today. So I think we're just looking at a lot of these stocks starting to do kind of a 50% retracement. Could we go all the way back to the bottom? We would, but I think you're going to have to run the table on both the government shutdown and the ability for China to make some kind of trade deal with the U.S., which are, I guess, the only things really kind of looking in front of what we're going. In the last segment, we'll talk about earnings out this week that you want to keep an eye on. And that'll be about it. That'll wrap up the show. Kind of a quiet day for such a big move in the market. But again, as I said before, expect the unexpected. We'll be back in a minute.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what we have here, folks. The opportunity of a lifetime for most. I'm Steve Rhodes, the 2018 Market Timer of the Year. And on Thursday, January 24th at 4:15 p.m., I'll share with you what I see as the next great buying opportunity. This free workshop, sponsored by Ninja Trader, is available to everyone. There's no gimmicks, no credit cards, no lengthy sign-up, and you don't have to be a subscriber to my award-winning daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. All you need is a name, email address, and contact number. Just click on my name on the homepage of TFNN.com to gain access to the live or archived version of the next great buying opportunity. Folks, everything in life happens for us, not to us. The fact is, this workshop is happening for you so that you can learn how, why, and when to take advantage of the next great buying opportunity. Timing is everything. So sign up today on the homepage of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, we got everybody to ask a question in the last 2 minutes, so I'll go through as much of them. First of all, Salesforce. Salesforce went above its previous high of December 3rd, 147.07, with 7.4 million shares. Got through it with 6 million shares. The big thing is the energy is about the same on the top. I think Salesforce has got a lot of consolidation to go for a while. Biggest problem is that they don't have the economy of scale of Google or Amazon Web Services. They're probably more like Microsoft's Azure, where they have some special stuff with their own software, a little off the beaten path, more of a kind of a specialty cloud services provider. They've had a lot of push, but they may be a little over their skis, especially on the earnings growth over the next year. I would say that if there's a company that more likely to have problems with not maybe the business so much as the price overshooting what's going on, I think that's kind of it. I could see a bigger consolidation in this 113, 120 to 150 area, maybe the rest of the year. Maybe they surprised me, but it just kind of looks like they got to the peak of what they're doing. Other stuff going on out here, my call on USO. Again, we continue to see more and more supply come on. I think this thing is going to be down here for a while. Again, you know, you can get some bounces, but every time we get some bounce, you get more supply out there. I think that $50 to $60 range probably holds for a while. What are we doing right now? I didn't look at it lately. Commodities. Okay, we're down $1. Yeah, I think we could probably maybe go down as low as 45, but 50 to 60 probably looks about where supply comes on, and that's probably going to keep a lid on crude for a while. Anyway, so when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.